Here are some of the ways I behave as if I am the prize. And I just want to point out that some of these are tangible actions and some are more of a shift in mindset. And in tandem, changing the way I thought and the way I behaved changed my energy and chemistry as a whole and allowed me to exude that main character vibe. Number one, I stopped being productive as a means for his approval. I have specific examples. I stopped overworking in my company and killing myself to make as much money as possible so that he would consider me as financially valuable as himself. I cut my work hours from 60 a week to 30, and I have further cut them in recent months. I stopped making his ideas and goals my job to implement, and you can see part 3 for more on that. I stopped facilitating his relationships with the people in his life. I stopped being his therapist, and I stopped planning and managing Christmas altogether, something I had done for the 13 years prior. Number 2, I stopped hyper-focusing on the details of his life and started hyper-focusing on the details of my life. I used to ask really detailed questions about his day, his job, his plans, his feelings, his problems, his relationships, and I realized that by doing that, I was communicating to him and myself that his life was the most important thing in my life. So I greatly reduced the amount of time I spent talking to him about his life, and I moved that focus to my life. I thought about myself, my day, my hobbies, my plans, my feelings, my relationships, my goals, and my desires. Even though I never said outright, I'm focusing less on you and more on me, the action of doing that changed my energy and the dynamic of our relationship because I was treating myself like I mattered, like I was important, and even without vocalizing it, he could feel that shift. When someone believes they are important and matter, the people around them believe that too. Number 3, I started following every interest and spark of passion. I started making art. I put in raised vegetable garden beds. I started kayaking. I started learning tarot. I started doing spells and moon rituals. I started making my own soap. I started writing. I rekindled my passion for fashion and style and devoted ridiculous amounts of time to it. Someone who invests heavily in themselves feels like a prize because they are saying through their self-devotion that they are worth all of that time and effort. Number 4, I adopted a completely different mindset from the one I had always had. I used to strive for his approval and love, and I decided I am not striving for anything anymore. I am a queen sitting on her throne, and any man who wants the privilege of access to me and my energy has to earn it. I know this sounds extreme, but I had to swing hard in the other direction to land even close to the middle. Number 5, I started telling him very directly what I wanted. I want to kayak. I want to travel by myself. I want to buy a house in New York. I want to go to LA for my birthday so that I can see a Rams game and get an Hermes silk scarf. Number 6, I stopped oversharing the details of my life, my emotions, and my inner world with him, and I stopped explaining myself to him. I worked through my issues of equating being understood with feeling safe and accepted. Number 7, I stopped doing things I didn't want to do. I started saying no to golf. I started saying no to concerts I didn't want to go to. I started saying no to get-togethers when I wasn't in the mood to be social. When he wanted to invite people over, I said, sounds great, and I let him handle it. He got the drinks, the snacks, he cleaned the house. Number 8, I stopped begging him to see my value. I decided it was no longer worth my time, and I started really paying attention to seeing my value for myself. Number 9, I stopped asking him what he wanted and asked myself that instead. And there's way more on that in part 7 of this series. Number 10, I stopped performing when he drank. Instead of pretending everything was normal or fawning and performing pleasantness to keep his mood stabilized, I removed myself from him. I refused to participate in an experience I didn't enjoy and that didn't feel healthy to me. Number 11, I sat my ass on the couch and stayed there even when I could tell he was in a mood. Whereas in the past, I would have gotten up and made him my focus to improve his mood. Number 12, I stopped anticipating and managing his emotions. If he was in a mood, that was not my problem. I went about my day without adjusting to him and his mood. Number 13, I started noticing the moments when I looked to him for permission or approval, and I gave myself permission and approval instead. And number 14, I stopped letting my energy be an endless resource for him and his moods. I started protecting it as a valuable resource that goes to me first. And as I said in part 23, after months of behaving this way, he also started behaving like I am the prize. I had begged him for years to see my value, and all it really took was for me to see it and embody it. And once I believed it about myself, he believed it about me too.